So this game happened months ago now. Last year, around November. It's already been beaten. HLLG beat it. I'll put a link in the description if I remember to link his thing. He got 155. This is my 153. This is the first time we beat round 150 without any glitches or exploits since 2016, the ramping update where Oreklo got round 333, which is pretty good. So that's a huge milestone, I guess. We've gotten to 150, which is amazing considering how much has changed, like with nerfs, I guess, and buffs. We have the ramping buff, of course, making rounds go significantly shorter. The round limit significantly lower. We have shipper nerfs and then shipper buffs. We have super nerfs. We have star nerfs. Everything gets a lot of nerfs, I feel like, and we're still able to get further than we have before since 2016. So this is, of course, as you saw in the thumbnail, round 153, which is quite good. We can get better. We know that we've already gotten better, but we can get further again. HLLG discussed it in his video. I'll discuss it here again. So the strategy here is Ice Chipper Super Sniper. Ice for sacrifice and for stall of the ZOMGs. It's a 45% slow, so that's pretty good. Chipper is for star reasons. We have Omni Shredder for the ZOMGs and Super Vac for the BFBs and MOABs. So the Omni Shredder would be it would suck in the ZOMGs. We put them on strong targeting, and then that's what slows the ZOMGs. And then once it pops to BFBs, we use the Super Vac ability to hold them and stop them progressing. And then we use and then they pop to MOABs, and we do the same. Which, is general use for how they work. I'll go into more details later. We have Super, obviously, for tempos. No tech there, it's just 13 tempos. We have Sniper for sniper stall and money. So apparently I could have started building about now when I have 2 million, but I kept going until I had a full map, and then I kept going until I had 5 million. Anyways, I might change that in the future, but I do feel more comfortable when I have all the money I need, pretty much. So some changes for the future. So not changes for the future. I talk about tactics now, and not just the strategy. So we have the ice ability. You see, the thing is, it all kind of works together. So it's hard to explain one thing. We need to explain all of it in one go, all of it together. So we have the super vac. So we need to talk about damage. So ideally, hold on now. Where should I go with this? So with the super vac ability, that I normally put that at the exit because that's where the BFBs and MOABs will be, and that's where I don't want them to be. So I put them at the exit to make sure they don't pass the exit. But there's an issue with that. First of all, it's not fully in range of the map, or is not using as much of the range as possible. So there's sections where BFBs and MOABs can easily move, and also it means if it pulls them away from the center of attention, so I'm going to have damage mainly focused around the center of the map, and now I'm putting the BFBs and MOABs more towards the corner, which is not good because they take less damage, and that means they can move. If they can move again, they'll move more, and they'll take less damage, and just more dangerous. It's not as good. So the solution is to put them in the center of the map, leaning a bit more towards the exit so that they're still in range, and that will keep the damage more focused, more centered in the center of the map, and hopefully it will do better because anything that is targeting the BFBs and MOABs will also indirectly hit the ZOMGs, and anything targeting the ZOMGs will hit indirectly the BFBs and MOABs because it's all in the center of the map, and that's good. One other thing is BFBs they only are affected by chipper ability for 4 seconds, whereas MOABs are affected for the full 8, or kind of. I'll get to that later again. So we need to figure out good timing for the chipper ability. So you could use the chipper ability every 8 seconds, and that works fine. You basically have half-speed BFBs. But if you try to overlap them, so you use the chipper ability every 4 seconds, then the BFBs will still ignore the chipper because it will be immune to any other chipper abilities for the remainder of duration for the original chipper it was targeted by or affected by. So if I have a chipper ability and I use it, the BFB gets sucked in for 4 seconds, then for the remaining 4 seconds it won't be targeted by anything else. So that's won't be affected by anything else. So that's not too good. A solution is I start the ability and 2 seconds earlier, so then the BFB gets sucked in for 4 seconds, which is a total of 6 seconds now that the ability has been active. And for the remaining 2 seconds, I start the next chipper ability. So for those 2 seconds, the BFB is moving, but also the other chipper ability has been up for 2 seconds, and then the chipper ability stops, and the BFB gets targeted by the new super back ability, and the cycle repeats. And this is about a 33% slow, 33% speed, which is much better than 50%. You could always do better by microing super back, which is a test of endurance. Basically, you'll be doing that for about 2 hours with a bit of lag possibly. And right now, of course, with ice abilities, which leads me to the other part about MOABs. So MOABs, they should be affected by the super vac for the full 8 seconds duration of the ability, but for some reason they can move still freely even while in range of an active super vac for a few moments at least. I thought it would almost be instant because the game runs at 60 ticks per second, so they should be effective. They should just pretty much go, oh yes, I'm in range of a super vac, let's go to the super vac because its ability is active. But no, they kind of just ignore it for some reason, and that means that they'll be moving fast. They're faster than quick shot pinks, which is dangerous and fast, and they'll go through the exit, and that's how I died. That's how I died every time in the past too. That's how we all died in the past actually. They just beat straight through the exit because there's nothing slowing them. So the solution for that is we replace ice with glue. So now we don't need as many ice towers, and the slow is automated. We have a slightly more slow, but at least it means we don't need to worry about when to use the ice tower, the ice ability. We don't need to worry about how many ice towers we fit, and we just have the chipper ability to worry about, and that's much better. So the ice slow, or the slow from glue, obviously is a bit worse, but that's not too big an issue because it's better than no slow, which is kind of what would happen with how many times you need to use the ice ability for the MOABs. And also with the ZOMGs, it's not the main it's not the most contributing factor for the ZOMGs. The main thing is the sniper stun, because if a ZOMG isn't moving, I don't care how much slow it has. It could not even be slow. It's not moving anyways because it's stunned. So that's the main thing. The reason why we like to have some slow stun is because it increases the chances that it's going to be targeted by snipers in a position where it can be permanently stunned, and that's helpful. And we have chippers to help that also. So Omni Shredder, we have them spaced precisely so that each sniper is assigned to a specific Omni Shredder. So when you look at it, it's kind of like a Veroni diagram where there could be 2 Omni Shredders near a sniper, but it will target whichever's Omni Shredder is closer. That's just how it works. So you can give each shipper a certain amount of snipers, and then you can make sure that you have at least 3, maybe 4, so that you can have permanent stun, and that's useful. Issue is, the game spawns 24, 25 ZOMGs, and we can only fit 23 chippers, and that means one ZOMG goes without a stall, and that is why we start dying, because it doesn't matter that we are stalling the rest of the ZOMGs. That one ZOMG that can move freely, it's what kills us, and then that's bad, and we need to make sure it's not gonna do that. but we don't really have a way to do that other than boosting right now, which is our last resort. So we have 4 boosts. Ideally that's +8 rounds. I do pretty bad here. I get +5, but hey, it's a bit of luck. It's a bit of time, depending on when you time it. And it's never going to time it when you can't really see how far everything is, because the chippers keep on tucking in and spitting everything out. So sometimes you see them, sometimes you don't, and it's only glances you get to see for progress. Yeah, what else? What, around 132, 150 minutes. Yeah, you probably saw 13 tempos setup, you saw the chipper setup. Yeah, not much else to talk about, is that we have snipers on close targeting. I have a 4-1 or 4-2 and a 4-0 sniper on first, last, and strong, just to help out a bit. Target anything that's kind of a bit ahead to slow them down, and help with the last one, just because I can target it, I guess. Just 3 shots. The last one hardly helps because it's not the one that's going to leak. It's the least likely one to leak because it's the last one. The one ahead of it is probably going to leak first because it's ahead of it. You know, it's not exactly a difficult thing to figure out. That the one at the back is the least deadly of them all. The one at the front, yeah, that might be the one that's going to leak first, if any are going to leak at all. And yeah, so we have ice abilities. I think I only got 8. You don't need many because you're not dealing with too many things at the time. The rounds last a while. They last like 3 minutes each, which is insane. Because imagine a 3-minute round. At least it's not in the past. Sometimes some of us would get the rounds to start before we even popped all the ZOMGs, which is bad, because that's how long it takes to pop these ZOMGs sometimes if you don't have good DPS and you aren't focusing on your damage. So that's the main change. That's all the tactics and kind of the changes in tactics, I guess. We're going to have more centralized DPS, we're going to have a different slow, and that's pretty much it. There's not much else you can see improving on. Maybe blindness, no, but then you need 2 people, and then you're only as good as the weaker defense, because if one person gets 12 tempos and the other gets 13, then you're only going to get as far as the 12 tempo limit. If one person has good sniper timing and the other has bad, then you're only going to get as far as the bad sniper timing limit. And yeah, so sniper timing, yeah, of course, we have all the snipers shooting at different times, just to make sure we have staggered stun. Otherwise, they're not really helpful because it's all just damage and 1 stun. That's if they are synced up, which is bad. And then you'd probably be better with tactics, because that is more DPS and it's more pierce and it's more popping power in general. We've got the abilities to use. It would just be better, but here of course sniper is better because we have staggered the timings. We have just you know how sniper goes. You've seen the games, I assume. It's worth it. Yeah, around 150 finally. 151. Not much else to talk about. I've started boosting. Pretty much used my last boost to stare, and death round pretty soon. That's about it. Hope you enjoyed. Bye.